Hi, my name is Kevin. I am a graduate from the Feliciano School of Business with a bachelor's degree in finance and a minor in economics, and I'm currently an analyst here at Think Equity.
Hi, I'm Nate Nahirny. I graduated from the Feliciano School of Business with a dual majors bachelor degree in finance and management. I'm an investment banking analyst at Think Equity. Kevin and I were both students in the Student Managed Investment Fund class. I personally was introduced to the class by Mr. James Murley 2 years before taking it. I went to him just for general career advice, and he introduced me to the fund and the benefits that it would provide for me. While personally being in the fund, my class had a unique experience because we were in the spring of 2020, which, as everybody knows, was the coronavirus pandemic. So we got to manage the fund during maybe one of the most economically challenged and interesting times in the United States history. That experience alone, along with working with real money, was great to not only be able to apply to our own investing portfolios and portfolios in the future that we have, but also in our future careers, especially here at Think Equity.
And for me, I can agree with Nate. I definitely got a lot of real world experience out of it, especially since I was part of the inaugural class of the fund. So I had to set everything up along with my fellow students. I was in charge of tactical and strategic allocation and economic research. So it was a good thing I was an economics minor and very passionate about the economy. Another benefit that the fund provided for me was breaking into the world of institutional finance in general. It got my foot in the door at the private equity firm I used to intern at and then worked at full time as an analyst, which in turn allowed me to get my job here at Think Equity.
I think one of the main things that me and Kevin can both agree with on the fund is that it brings everybody at Montclair who has a passion for finance together, and it allows them to network with each other and potentially use each other to gain opportunities. And that's, first of all, how me and Kevin were introduced to each other by Professor Michael Radin, who manages the fund. And from being introduced, we just kind of built a relationship from there. And that ultimately helped lead me here to Think Equity to get the analyst position. Kevin can go a little bit more into that as well.
Yes, so Professor Radin introduced us, and we had gotten on a phone call. Originally, I was only planning for it to last about 20 minutes just to get to know him, and it ended up running 2 hours, which was very unexpected. But then a few weeks later, the analyst position here at Think Equity opened up. And Nate was the first person I thought of. So instantly I called Nate and I asked him if he was interested in interviewing. And then I gave him a phone interview on the spot. He did very well in that. And I connected him with the head of investment banking here at my firm, who then proceeded to take Nate throughout the interview process and eventually hired Nate here at Think Equity.
Yeah, so just a little bit about the interview process. So it was 2 separate interviews. One was, as Kevin mentioned, with the head of investment banking here at Think Equity. And then the second round was with 2 other MDs through managing directors. And through that, I ultimately got the position. And so I've been working with Kevin ever since. It's been a little over 3 months, I'd say. And so I've enjoyed being here at Think Equity. I'm grateful for the opportunity. And it wouldn't have been possible without the Student Managed Investment Fund. And I think that's ultimately the main point we're getting across here is how it brings everybody together, allows us to network and almost build like a family connection going back through Montclair.
Yep, and we would both like to thank Professor Murley, Professor Radin, and everybody else on the advisory board. Hope everybody's staying safe and staying well in these pandemic times. And we hope to see you guys soon at one of the advisory board meetings.
Thank you, guys.